What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm here today to give you guys a review of the A Bathing Ape collaboration with JJJJound on this Bape Sta in the white and navy colorway. Today's video is brought to you by Heffelux. When it comes to sneakers, comfort is king. So when you buy a pair of shoes and find out they're uncomfortable, one of the easiest ways to fix that is to swap out the insoles. So that's where Heffelux comes into play. If you check out their website, which I've linked down below in the description box, you'll see they sell a variety of eTPU insoles, which really is the same material you'll find inside Adidas Boost. So if you guys are curious to try a pair for yourself, be sure to use the code SEANGO at checkout and get 15% off your entire purchase, and be sure to tell them I sent you. So this right here is a collaboration between A Bathing Ape or Bape with JJJJound. And recently, with Nike filing a lawsuit against Bape claiming trademark infringement, I thought now would be a great time to review one on my channel because who knows what's going to happen to Bape down the road. So Bape actually originated back in Japan in the early 1990s, but it wasn't until the year 2000 when they unveiled this Bape Sta silhouette. Obviously, it's a take on Nike's Air Force 1, but there's been a few changes added to this shoe, which we'll see whether it'll stand up in court, makes it its own to Bape. Anyways, so earlier this year in January, they collaborated with Montreal design studio JJJJound, releasing the second colorway of the Bape Sta following the white and gray pair, which dropped last year. So this pair released for a price of $320 US, which is the equivalent to roughly 430 Canadian dollars. And I managed to grab this pair over on JJJJound's website, where it looked like, at least when I bought these, they were pretty much sitting in full size runs. So first things first, here's a quick look at the box, and I really love this box. As you can see, it features Bape's signature camo print, which is done in different tones of blue. And in the center, we have A Bathing Ape, which is done in this metallic gold foil finish. And then on the sides of the box, we have the JJJJound branding, which is also done in gold too. And inside the box, it comes with this tan colored dust bag with the Bathing Ape logo in the center. So as for the shoe itself, so diving into the details of the sneaker, the upper of the shoe for the most part is constructed out of 100% calf leather. So this is a very smooth white colored leather, and while it's not necessarily the thickest cut of leather, it does feel like it's very nice quality to the touch. So on the toe box, we have these perforations found throughout, and then overlaid on the outer edge of the toe box, we have more of this white colored leather. And if you notice the edges of this toe box, along with the edges of the mid panel and the heel, it's actually a rolled leather treatment, which is a very small, unnoticeable, but it was a premium and appreciated touch. Covering the eyelets, we have more of that same white leather, and then the very top eyelet is covered in this metallic silver finish with A Bathing Ape branding engraved within it. Underneath this, on the mid panel, we have more of that same white leather, and instead of the Nike swoosh, this being a Bape Sta, we have that shooting star, and this is crafted using a smooth navy blue leather, which almost looks like black unless you're looking at the shoe in very bright light. Moving downwards, you can see we have more of that smooth white leather, which wraps around the heel, and then on the top of the heel, we have more of that navy blue leather, and pressed across, we have JJJJound branding in white. As far as the laces go, so unlike the white and gray pair which came with two laces, these unfortunately only come with one lace option, and they're your standard oval shaped lace in white, but they do come with these metallic silver lace tips, which was again a nice added premium touch. I did notice though that these laces felt really long, so I definitely had to lace them up all the way to the very top eyelet, which is something I don't necessarily always do, so that was a little bit annoying, but just something I thought you guys should know. Underneath this, the tongue is crafted entirely out of leather, and on the very top we have this rectangular tag with Bape Sta branding in navy blue. The interior of the shoe is lightly padded, and it's covered in this navy blue colored mesh, which again almost looks like it's black unless you're in really bright light. And then as far as the insoles go, so these come with a very well padded foam insole. It's covered in a navy blue mesh on top, and we have JJJJound branding stamped on the heel in white. Underneath the insoles, instead of a traditional strobo board, instead we have another layer of foam which sits between the insole and the midsole. And then as far as the actual midsole goes, so the upper of the shoe sits atop this white colored rubber cup sole, and we have Bape branding found on the lateral side of the heel. And in case within the midsole but not visible to the eye, there is no Nike Air technology within this shoe, but there is a full-length foam wedge which I assume to be an EVA foam that's housed within this rubber cup sole. Finally, turning this pair over to the bottom, so the outsole here is entirely constructed out of a navy blue colored rubber. We have a star-style traction pattern on the forefoot, and Bape Sta branding found on the medial edge in the middle. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And for those wondering about sizing, so I got these in both a size 9.5 and a size 10, so that's a half size down from true to size and my true to size, just to see how these would fit. So I've actually never owned a pair of Bape Stas before, so I honestly had no idea how these would fit. So for Air Force Ones, I wear between a 9.5 and a 10, depending on the specific release. I find that some Air Force Ones are a bit more padded, or the materials on the upper just aren't as forgiving, whereas your traditional run-of-the-mill Air Force One, I usually can go a half size down to a 9.5 no problem. So for the Bape Sta, I ended up keeping the size 10. I definitely felt like they ran a little bit more snug than a traditional Air Force One, and I found that the toe box area, especially right here, it ran ever so slightly more narrow than an Air Force One as well. So going a half size down, the length of the shoe was okay, but I could feel this curve of the toe box touching my pinky toe, which made it feel pretty uncomfortable. So by going true to size, the length honestly wasn't bad. There was about just over an index finger's width between the top of the shoe and the top of my toe, and the curve on the toe box didn't give me any problems anymore. So I feel like if you have narrow feet, you probably can go a half size down, but anything wider than that, I'd probably just stick true to size to be safe. Moving on to the comfort, so these honestly felt pretty comfortable on feet. Even though it's not the same technology as a Nike Air Force One, I honestly thought that the underfoot feeling was a little bit softer than an Air Force One. To me at least, I can feel a bit more of that compression in the midsole and had a bit more of a spongier feel underfoot. So I think for an everyday casual use shoe, this pair will be great on foot. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and craftsmanship, so first off, material quality, like I mentioned earlier, I thought it was really good. This leather, you can tell it feels like a very nice high quality leather, and it really doesn't have that synthetic plastic feel like a lot of general release Air Force Ones have. And in terms of the build and the craftsmanship, I thought my pair was honestly pretty flawless. The stitch job was really good, there was no glue stains, the paint job was good, everything lined up and looked consistently in place. So I'm glad that we got a premium product for the super high price point that it was priced at. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet. I'll lace them up and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, for my very first Bape Sta shoe, I came away feeling pretty impressed. I know at first glance this looks like a very boring and very minimalistic take, but I think that was their intention when they collaborated with JJJJound. JJJJound, as you know, is known for their minimalistic, simplistic takes, whereas Bape is completely on the other side of things, where they're known for their flashy colorways, their overuse of patent leather. So I think this was a very good representation of both of those brands. And honestly, for my style, I think something like this would fit my wardrobe a lot more than your typical flashy Bape Sta. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this JJJJound and Bape Sta in this white and navy colorway. For anyone watching, did you also grab a pair of these when these dropped back in January? Was the high price point too much for you? Or are you just not feeling the look of this shoe and it was an easy pass? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, check out my Twitter account at sean.go, and visit my website as well at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you everyone for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy this review, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.